All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. We talk about Bitcoin and the miners every day on this channel, so if that is content that you're interested in, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody would do us a big favor and smash the like button, it helps the channel a lot and it helps this video get out to more people. There's a link in the pinned comment below to our Discord. We talk about Bitcoin and the miners a lot on the Discord, so it's an active conversation. You're welcome to come join us. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a very exciting 24 hours. We'll wait until we get to the chart, but there's some major action there. So let's start with the Bitcoin miner big board. All right, you'll see today is a little bit different. This is a mixed bag today. We've got some green and we've got some red. And some of these miners had very good days and some of them had not so good days. So this is not typical. Usually we are either red or green, and then we have one or two Bitcoin miners that are outliers that go the other way. But today, I mean, it is just hit or miss. A few of these I know why they're down or up, but the rest of them, I'm not sure what the difference was. But let's go through and take a look. A few of the big winners on the day. RIOT was up 6.87%. The market is closed. These are the final numbers for today. Core Scientific was up 7.24%. So those are two of the largest miners, and they had big up days. Bit Digital was up over 8%, and TeraWolf was up 17%. So there were several miners that had very nice days. On the other hand, unfortunately, there were some miners that had tough days. Hive Blockchain was down 8.3%. Now, Hive Blockchain announced a 5-to-1 reverse stock split yesterday. It was not received well by the market. They were down 22.5% yesterday. They're down another 8.3% today. Now, everybody was down yesterday, but they were down more than everybody else. Argo Blockchain was down 6.5%, so that was a pretty big move to the downside. Stronghold was down 5.8%, so they are now under $2. They're $1.94. And Mawson, stock ticker MIGI, was down 16%. Now, yesterday, this was an outlier. In a sea of red, this was the only green miner yesterday. And now today, it's the worst miner on the board. So this is how these things go. These are very, very volatile stocks. You guys may be sick of hearing me say that because I say it in every video because it is true. These are extremely volatile stocks. Bitcoin is very volatile, and these are actually a leveraged play on Bitcoin, so they can be even more volatile than Bitcoin. So I'll give you just a couple of seconds to take a look at the big board and see whatever other miners you may be interested in, since today was such a mixed bag. Okay, now let's see what happened to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin had a wild ride. This is Bitcoin's chart on the 15-minute time frame. So as always, I have an orange line here. This was where Bitcoin was when the equity markets closed yesterday in the US. So it was at about $29,400. From that point, you will see that overnight, in the middle of the night here in the US, this candle wick goes all the way down to $25,338. So that is a new low for Bitcoin. That takes out their 2022 low. It also takes out their low on the year for 2021, which was last year. So last year they bottomed out in the summer at around 29,000. So last night this was down to 25,000. So significant move down. This is about an 18 or 20 month low. From yesterday's high, a little bit after we closed the market, until last night's overnight low, Bitcoin was down over 15% in that 8 or 10 hour period. So that was a drastic move to the downside. You'll see these two candles were the biggest two. When we get to a larger time frame, you'll see this actually was on pretty decently high volume, which is a good thing. And when Bitcoin hit its low, it was in a 15-minute candle that ended up to be a very large green candle. So it really did bottom out and then just turn around and start running up. And then basically it spent the rest of the day today until around noon, getting all the way back to where we closed yesterday. So from the low to the high there, that was about a $4,000 move to the upside, and we gave back about 1,000 of it between, the highs of the day and the end of the day. So it was a bumpy road, but the most important takeaway is that was a dramatic new low, and I'm going to show you on the larger time frames, we're just barely holding on to some crucial lines of support. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here we're on the 4-hour time frame, and you'll see that just as the market was closing, we were still holding this line at 29,000, which again, this line was the low for 2021. So right after the market closed, we did break below this line, and then we gapped all the way down overnight, down to this 25,300-ish area, and turned right back around and ran right back up to around 29,000. We're sitting right now at about 28,200. Okay, so here's Bitcoin on the 1-day time frame. So this is our old plan Z for zoom out, and this plan lasted. We were inside of this trading channel for almost 4 months, and at the very end of April and the beginning of May, we broke to the downside, and we have had a drastic move down since then. So pretty much from the time we broke outside of the bottom of this channel until last night's low at around 25,300, Bitcoin was down almost 36%. So that is a big move to the downside. So we are looking to see if and when we can establish a bottom here. So we're starting to get some signals, but it is too soon to call it. Let me talk about a couple of the spots that we're at here. You're going to see this light blue line, and this is the 1,000-day moving average, the simple moving average, and I added this yesterday as a potential line of support. We did close and hold above that line. Unfortunately, today's candle basically opened at the line and has been below it ever since. It did actually then cross way below this 1,000-day moving average, which you're going to see is a fairly strong line of support over the last 5 years. However, at the moment, it is just candle wicked below this, and we're looking to potentially close above this line. So it is going to be very close. We're going to either close somewhere at or above this line, it looks like. So those are a couple of the things I'm looking for to try to start to establish that we are at or near the bottom. We really need to close above around 28,200 or 300. And what would really be nice is if we can close above the red line at near 29,000, that would be a big step, because what we're running the danger of doing right now is turning this very long-term line of support into a line of resistance. So I want to pop back above this quickly so that this line of 29,000 will remain support. We will have had one day that was below that, so we'll see what happens. Those are the things I'd like to see happen to start to indicate that we've put a bottom in. You know, this is not to say that we then turn bullish, but those would be indicators that we're at or near a bottom, and we're getting near the end of this pain. So I'm going to zoom out a little further. This is the exact same chart on the 1 week time frame, and I just want to show you this because this goes all the way back 5 years. We had one little maybe 3 or 4 month stint at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, that we were just below the line, and then in March of 2020 we dipped below that line for just a few days. We all remember what happened in March of 2020, so that was a fairly drastic event, and that caused us to go below the 1,000-day moving average for a brief period of time, and we moved right back above it. So you can see in the last 5 years, we've only gone below this line twice, and even when we did, it was for a short period of time, and we stuck pretty close to the line. So that is why I'm hoping that we are at or near a bottom, because even if this line doesn't hold, we haven't seen it break severely in the last 5 years. So that doesn't mean that it can't. Every trend is good until it's broken. So hopefully we're not about to break this one. Okay, we've been watching the Fear and Greed Index, so I just want to take a look at that one today again as well, because this is another signal that we are nearing a bottom. This is 12 today. It was 12 yesterday. 2 days ago, this got down to 10. Now, 10 is the lowest it's been in the last 2 years. It has been there, I think, 6 times over the last 2 years. So that is extreme fear. For the last 2 years, 10 has been the low. So we've been hanging around that now for 3 days. So again, this is another signal that we've been sitting in extreme fear, hopefully indicating that we're at or near a bottom. Okay, just a couple more things on the 1 day time frame that I don't think I mentioned. Again, here you can see these are daily candles, and this is the volume down here. So you can see we're 4 days in a row of very high volume. These 4 days are the 4 highest volume days of the year 2022. So the higher the volume, the more likely the chance is that we are bottoming out and about to have a reversal. So again, that is not a guarantee, but it's another indicator that seems to be telling us we're at or near the bottom. In addition to that, you can see the daily RSI is down to 24 again, so that is extremely oversold. And this is a very infrequent occurrence. This has happened twice in the last 2 years. It did happen in January when we bottomed out, and it happened in last May when we bottomed out. So the RSI is showing us that we've definitely broken to the downside. We are oversold, which is ultimately actually a good sign. So at some point, again, this is pointing towards us being at or near a bottom. So I know I keep saying that, but that's what all the indicators look like to me. So if we can hold these two lines, this 1,000-day moving average, which we're extremely close to right now, and if we can get back above this $29,000 line, I'll start to feel like we've made some moves in the right direction towards putting a bottom in. But but it's way too soon right now to call that, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Last night, obviously, there was massive action. I'll finish out on the daily time frame, and we're still hanging out. We're at around 28,200, but you can see last night, overnight, we had a gigantic dip. So we'll see if we have some downward pressure again tonight, or if we start to hold these lines and maybe get back above this red line. That is the goal. So that's all I've got for you today on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. We will do this again tomorrow. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks so much for watching, and everybody have a great night.